Stuff moves in it. Ow. Hey YouTube, welcome back to Russ's Rad Reviews. Today I've got Stony here to go over Billy Joel's 6th studio album, 52nd Street. What we've got here again is Billy Joel's 52nd Street album released on October 13th, 1978. It was released on the Family Productions / Columbia label. It was produced by Phil Ramone. The singles that came off the album are as follows. My Life was released first on October 28th, 1978, and it's the only one on Wikipedia that has the actual date for it. The other three, Big Shot was released on January 1979, Until the Night was released in March of 1979, and Honesty was released in May of 1979. Fun fact about this album, this was the first album released by Sony when they returned to manufacturing vinyl records in 2018. With that said, let's talk about artwork. You ready?
Always.
You want to talk about the cover?
I think it's really basic. I don't know. I don't really like it, to be honest.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. It's pretty basic. The back is just the lyrics of the songs and then a picture of him with the trumpet standing in the doorway. The inner sleeve is actually pretty neat. That picture is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much 70s straight up.
Pictures of the band on the back there. For artwork, probably give it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow that with a 6 out of 10, I believe so.
It's one of those albums where the artwork, it's really not an emphasis on the artwork, it's more an emphasis on the actual music. Alright, so let's jump into the record. This is a protective cover, it's just white, so.
Guess who was on the drums?
Peter Criss.
Liberty DeVito.
There's no secret messages on this album this time. We're gonna give this a 1.5 on the thick scale. So it's a thick with a full C, and then just half a C.
So a K.
So almost like a comma. You've got your Columbia label with, is that a cow up there?
That's not a cow.
What is it? A sheep?
Looks like a burrito.
How does that look like a burrito? It has udders. Dude, look. That is a freaking cow, is it not? Anyway, there's some sort of animal on this Columbia label. You've got your track listings, your CBS Inc., blah, 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 blah. It's just your standard Columbia label. Anyway, so let's talk about some tracks here. We start on side 1 with Big Shot, followed by Honesty, followed by My Life, and finally Zanzibar. Honestly, I really enjoyed this side. No complaints on this side.
Yeah, Honesty was probably like my favorite song on this side.
I love Big Shot. My Life is one of my all-time favorite songs. Honesty is a really good song. Zanzibar was kind of the transition into the jazzy side of the album because I felt side 2 was really, really jazz. Like that really, like it started with stiletto on side 2 and then the rest of it was just jazz. Side 2 starts off with stiletto followed by Rosalinda's Eyes, followed by Half a Mile Away, followed by Until the Night, and it ends off with 52nd Street. The only song on this side that like I really enjoyed was Stiletto. The rest of them were just, to me, they were there. They were good. There was a lot of jazz.
Yeah.
I'm not a super big jazz listener.
I like Half a Mile Away.
Oh, but yeah.
The only reason why is probably because it's the only song I actually remember from listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, the Rosalinda's Eyes and Half a Mile Away weren't bad. Side 1 was definitely more consistent than side 2, I think. In terms of just, maybe they did that on purpose with side 2 because they wanted to put the jazz side and like they were trying to stay with the 52nd Street.
Was it the 70s that was full of jazz?
In New York, there was a mixture between the rock scene and the jazz scene in New York because you had the, Kiss and stuff, the Dolls and stuff, but jazz was coming back.
I can see that because this was what, 79?
So, yeah, 78, 79. That
Yeah, because the Stones released Some Girls in 78, and that was kind of like jazz heavy as well.
Yeah.
The influence from it.
It isn't bad. Like side 2 isn't bad. Like it's definitely better than most, like some of the albums we've done. So with that said, if I was gonna rate this for songs, I'd probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 on songs.
There's 9 songs in here, so 4 of them, 5 of them are really good. So it's hard to give it more. Now I'm gonna talk about how it's held up today. And Big Shot, My Life. If you're a Billy Joel fan, those songs you'll recognize. Stiletto. But I think when we grade these, we also kind of have to think about like if we were a fan of the band, how it would hold up today. Because if you don't listen to an artist, like if you have no idea who they are, you're not gonna think that they help. Their stuff holds up today because you're not experienced. know,
Okay.
you're not exposed to it. But I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10 for how it's held up today. Like there's one whole side on this that really, you know,
I think this was just him like getting back to his roots, because I watched a video earlier about Billy Joel and how he made Piano Man, and he did like a lot of just shows in like pubs and bars and stuff, and like jazz with like his life in the like 60s, early 70s. So I look at this as more like he's just trying to get back to his roots.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty cool, honestly. But I'll also do a 6 on that.
Yeah. So I think a 6 is fair. Now some of you are gonna be like, man, what the hell's wrong with them? They don't, you know, like Billy Joel. But the thing is the album's actually pretty good. It's just one of those where, in terms of a lot of the other songs that Billy Joel released, doesn't necessarily line.
Yeah. Like this is just coming from an average listener.
Right.
Decent album. Nothing that I would actually like go home and say, yeah, let's listen to this right now because it's so good. But
Yeah.
it's just listen to the song on the radio a couple times. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. For me, Big Shot, My Life, and Stiletto are super, super solid songs.
Yeah.
If the whole album was filled with songs like that, it would, you know, basically be a 10. But again, you get your good and your bad with some of these albums, and just for those 3 songs, I think it's worth, if you're a Billy Joel fan at all, worth picking this album up. I don't know if Sound of Vinyl is reprinting this. Sony, I guess, is reprinting
Yes,
it.
Sony is.
So pick it up if you guys can. Sound of Vinyl sponsor us. But with that said, I think that's all we've got for today's video. You got anything else you want to add?
No, we're good.
I'm Rad Russ. This is Stony, and you want to end it? You want to end it? Guess we'll see you in the next review if we still have a channel from that. Bye bye.